Speaks Geek. Welcome back to Ryan Speaks Geek. Yes, it's another episode. It's been a few days and I thought I should do it because if I stop doing them, I'll just never pick it up again. And some of you might be going, yeah! Other people might be like, oh, I'll see how if they get any better. They don't. This is it. This is the gig. This is all it is. It's just me. I don't have a budget. I think we covered that. This is a low budget show, and which I know is hard to believe because you look at me going, Ryan, you're obviously in some kind of studio or some kind of shop. Nope, I just have that much crap laying around. So I'm in our spare room, or the Nerdatorium as I sometimes call it. You'll notice a lot of the stuff behind me is Star Wars. It's not an exclusively Star Wars channel. I will be talking about other things of a geeky nature. It's Ryan Speaks Geek, not Ryan Speaks Star Wars. But it is Chinese New Year. So happy Chinese New Year. Happy Year of the Ox. I thought I'd do a special video for this today. I don't have any Ox related toys. Although if I had a G1 Predaking maybe, I could have taken one of the figures off that. Rampage I think it is. He's an Ox. But I don't have any other Ox related toys. So I think I'll just go for something with a genuine Chinese feel. What about... So look at the survey. What about... I'll take a giant dragon. Giant dragon for 200. Anyone? Survey says... Giant dragon it is. This is... Serpentera. I've shown you the most boring part first because... I don't know. Dramatic tension. Anyway, this is a really long toy, as you can see. And what I've done to really make it useful is I've worn a jumper that's actually almost the same colour. Just because that's going to really help it stand out. And I'm all about being clear and visual and really thinking these things ahead. This is Serpentera from the Mighty Morphing Power Rangers line. I was a big Power Ranger fan when I was a kid. I was born in 1990. Boo! We gave you Backstreet Boys. The 90s weren't that bad. I'm sorry, I know they're not the 80s, but it's time to let it go. I can enjoy 80s things too, I promise. I'm more than just a 90s child. But Power Rangers was awesome. It was bright colours, ridiculous fight scenes, and the funny thing is, when I was a kid, I never knew it was two series. You wouldn't. It's only when I got older I realised it was a Japanese series called Super Sentai, and that they just changed the footage. Because I was a big fan of Power Rangers, Masked Rider, Big Bad Beetleborgs, just to name a couple. VR Troopers, VR. Yeah, this is actually, funny enough, one of the only Power Ranger toys I didn't have when I was a kid. So this is Serpentera. So he was effectively the bad Megazord that was done in, I think it was like season 2 or 3. It was during the Lord Zed era, anyway. And there wasn't really much in the way of villains that were Zords. There were Zords that were taken over and made evil temporarily. And you had like the dragon, like the Green Ranger saga. But this was like a specifically evil Zord. And I remember correctly, and if I don't shout at me, because I won't hear you, because this is a video and I recorded it in the past. So shouting would be pretty pointless. But you can put a comment and just go like, do your research before you do something on a whim. I believe they went to another planet, and it was when they found Tor, the Shuttle Zord, I think it was called. It was a giant tortoise, I should know. I don't know why I went higher there. Probably just for intrigue and to add some different sound levels. And I can take it down low as well. Jazz FM. Nice. I love this figure. I got this when I was an adult, because I didn't have it when I was a kid. I part traded it and part bought it, and I love it. It's just ridiculous. I sadly don't have most of my Power Ranger toys anymore. Some people say that's because you're 30, Ryan, and other people say, actually no, that's pretty much all the people say. It's because you're 30, Ryan. I disagree. I miss them. I've got a couple, but we'll get to them another day. But so I got this one because I always wanted it when I was a kid. It was one of those ones that always eluded me. Never found it until later years. So it's massive. I've put the tail up, so articulation wise we'll just jump straight into that. You've got the tip of the tail, this part of the tail, and this part of the tail. So this is why you can make it so long, because it can just concertina like that, very snake-like, and then you can put it into more of a scorpion type position for when you put it in its Super 80 shoulder pad power mode. I don't think that's the official name for it. It's the name I use for it because it's mine. So transformation is very easy. It's put the legs up. These move all the way around, by the way. I should probably show you the one you can see. There you go. like that. Then the feet rotate, which is good. So next part is to bring it here and move the arms down a bit like this, stand it up, and then here come the 80 shoulder pads of doom. Whack them out, and the arms actually sort of fold out a little bit, so that if you can see that like this, just to give it a bit more of a body, like a chest area, and then the head just comes forward. So here he is in 80 shoulder pad power mode. Again, it's massive. Even with the tail sort of as much as a scorpion type flick as you can get it, it's still going to take almost a foot back if you're putting it on a shelf. And it's probably about 2 foot, I reckon. Just because I'm not good with measurements, and so that might have been completely rubbish. So here he is. He's a big figure. It's good posability. Again, you've got gold plastic on here, so it's like a chromed gold. This is really cool, but you don't see it much anymore because a lot of older toys that had gold plastic had something called gold plastic syndrome, which is where the types of chemicals mixed in to make it that kind of gold. Normally it's the more glittery dull gold than metallic, but it actually, if I remember correctly, had a weakening effect on it. So if you Google gold plastic syndrome, you'll probably see some pictures of toys that have just crumbled. Predominantly Transformers, if I remember correctly. There was a Pretender, I think, in particular, that had very, very large amounts of gold plastic, and it just disintegrates over time, and it's hard to find one. But this is good. You don't see the chroming type effect anymore. I mean, it's so shiny. You can even see the phone recording back in it. If I wanted to do some weird Inception type video where I record from inside Serpentera. Again, no budget for a special effects here. It's great. The posability is what it is. You can't turn the head or anything, but it's just fearsome looking, and it's just it's an unusual looking toy. It's not quite robot looking. It's got shiny pieces on it. I know that sounds really juvenile, but let's be honest, we're all a bit magpie-like. When you see something shiny, or for me, it's glow in the dark. I love things that glow in the dark, just because it's unusual. It's cool. I like things that are slightly different. So yeah, so for Chinese New Year, I've busted out Serpentera. I hope you enjoyed this very brief but fun review. I had fun doing it. Doesn't mean you're having fun watching it. Probably not. You're probably on a different video looking about like top 10 pizza restaurants in Manhattan or some other weird thing you've gone on that we normally find at 4 in the morning on YouTube. But thank you if you have watched it. Like and subscribe and all the other things that more popular YouTubers say. I will try and do another video soon. But for now, this is Ryan Speaks Geek saying Happy Chinese New Year. And take care. And 3 rings when you're home safe. And I'm trying to think of the other things I say when people leave. But I guess goodbye and see you next time.